Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about how to install Docker for Macs that have virtualization capabilities. So the first thing we want to check is one, are you using a Mac? If you're not using a Mac, you should not be watching this video, and you are going to want to watch the video on installing Docker Toolbox. If you are using a Mac, what we want to do next is run the following command in our terminal. So just quick heads up, this is our GitHub page. It's linked in the video description. And what we want to do here is scroll down to how to install Docker, Mac, and as you can see the instructions, you guys can read them more carefully when you have the GitHub page, but what you want to do is copy this command here, go over to your terminal, and you want to run this command. And you're either going to see a 0 or a 1 here. And if you see a 1, that's great. Your computer has virtualization capabilities, and so you should continue watching this tutorial. If you see a 0, you should stop watching this tutorial and head over to watch the Docker Toolbox installation video, which we will link in the YouTube description. So, carrying on, if we see this this right here, current.hcsupport_1, just as we got here, what we want to do then is continue to go here to click this link to download the Docker installation the Docker installation helper. So once we get this downloaded, it just takes a second. Once you download that, it's gonna open up, it's gonna verify. And then what we want to do is drag the Docker whale into the applications folder. And you should see a little pop-up here that tells you it's moving it. Okay, cool. Open up the applications folder. And then you want to open Docker by double-clicking on the whale. And so right here what's happening is Docker has been moved to our applications, and it's going to verify it. It's probably going to give you something like this that asks if you are sure you want to open this because it's from the internet. You can say OK. And it may ask you for an administrator's password now. I've installed Docker before on this computer, so it's not asking me. But once you get past this step, you should see a little whale on your status bar up here that has these little boxes moving up and down, which means that the Docker daemon is booting up. This is called the Docker daemon. Basically, the Docker daemon is running on your computer, and then from there, you're able to, once it's running, run Docker commands from your command line. So once the boxes stop moving up and down like they have right now, then we're going to know that Docker's installed. So then you can type Docker here, and you'll see you get a bunch of options. And so we know that Docker is successfully installed. Okay, so continuing on, what we want to do next is go down to how to run Docker. So now we've successfully installed Docker and we have the daemon running, or the daemon. So if you ever get a error that says the daemon is not running, basically what you want to do is go to your applications folder, double click Docker, open it up, and this little whale should appear up here, and that's how you know that the daemon is running. And from here, what you want to do is scroll down to Mac with virtualization, which remember is what I'm assuming you're using if you're watching this video. So you want to right-click on this link and select Save Link As. And we want to save it to the desktop, and we're going to save it as startup macvirtualization.sh. A .sh file is just a series of commands that you're going to run from the command line. And once we have that downloaded, we can run that. So now if we go back here, I'm going to assume that you are not at your desktop, so what you want to do is just do ls, and you can look for your desktop, and it should just be in your root in your home directory, so you can cd desktop. We're also going to put a link to some helpful Unix tutorials on here, or Linux tutorials on here, because using Linux is a little confusing the first time, but cd just means change directory. We're changing into the desktop, and now as you can see here, it's letting us know that we are in the desktop. And from there, what we want to do is we want to run ls, and we'll see that we have this startup macvirtualization.sh. So what we want to do next is chmod, change the modifications so we're able to do whatever we want to this file. We're going to want to add execution, so you do +x, and then you do startup macvirtualization.sh and hit enter. Okay, so now you'll see that this is now executable. So now what that means is we can do /startup macvirtualization.sh. And if we run that, then it's going to step through all these steps. So basically, the first step is to download this Docker image, and then once it downloads all of these different images, all these different layers to the image, then it's going to run the Docker container and start up Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to fast forward through this part because it's going to take a little bit to download, but actually it just finished. So what's happening now is it's opening Jupyter Notebook, and sometimes you need to press reload once or twice, but as you can see here, we've now successfully opened Jupyter Notebooks. And you can click in here, and you have all these notebooks that we have created for you. And as you can see here, we have all these Python notebooks, and if you want to go here to this home directory, you can create your own Python Jupyter notebook and whatever you want to do. So we're going to have other tutorials that we'll link in the description about how to use Jupyter Notebooks, but from there, this is how you get Docker installed and running on your computer. So as we said before, you can refer to our GitHub tutorial for a more detailed description of how to do each of these things, but this video tutorial was mainly just to help show, if you're not super experienced with running all of these commands, how to actually do these things. So thanks for watching, and yeah, watch our other videos if you have any questions about how to use Docker. Thanks.